Welcome back to Brick by Brick. Today we're going to be doing a prediction. In this case, it is going to be between one of the congresswomen from New York, AOC, and then on the Republican side, we're going to be doing the current vice president, J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is far more likely to be the Republican nominee than AOC is to be the Democratic nominee. Should point that out. And I am not necessarily saying that either of these people will be the nominee, just kind of a fun little hypothetical matchup that we'll be working with today. So as you can see, before we characterize any of the swing states and districts, we have the votes of 211 for the Democrats to 218 for the Republicans. I'll be going through and giving a designation to each of these. So we will start out with on the West Coast and then just move eastward. I do think in the state of Nevada, it's possible AOC's kind of working class populist appeal would do well in Vegas, but I don't think it would do well enough in order to win the state. And I think it's going to be probably an even worse sign for AOC in Arizona. Arizona went to Trump by a lean margin in 2024. Biden was able to win it in 2020, though, so they are more inclined to vote for a little more moderates, seems to be the preference. So that's going to be the result for that. And then there is the district in Omaha there in Nebraska. That's the separate congressional district that has an electoral vote. This district did vote for Harris in 2024. They also elected a Republican to Congress, Don Bacon, on the congressional level. So they definitely also, similar to the other states, prefer moderates. And I don't think that AOC would be able to, it's possible she'd win it, but I don't think, but between her and Vance, I think Vance would probably be the one to take it. And then things do get a little bit better for AOC, though. I do think the states of Minnesota and New Hampshire would end up in the Democratic column. I'm a little more confident about Minnesota than New Hampshire, but that is what I would probably go with if I were to assign them right now. And then in the state of, we'll go to North Carolina next. I do think in North Carolina, that would most likely be a lean rating. Georgia, I think that's going to be a tilt. As you can see, things are looking really good for J.D. Vance, not quite as good for AOC. Even if AOC were to win, hypothetically, every swing state left, it would still be a tie. And I do think the district in Maine there would probably be likely. It's either lean or likely. I'm going to go with likely for now, just because that seems a little more likely. But for now, I do think that in the Rust Belt, that Minnesota is going to be a different story than the three Rust Belt swing states. So I'm going to go, I do think that J.D. Vance would probably be able to win all three of them. Just AOC, and like I've said in the start of this video, probably isn't going to be the Democratic nominee. It is not the most likely situation. Democrats would probably get a more moderate. Republicans, we could most likely are going to go with the J.D. Vance, but we'll have to see what happens. But in general, that is the prediction I would end up going with for a matchup between AOC and J.D. Vance. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe.